Right now, there is a real race to put a flying car in the sky. Not a concept, not a render, real aircraft flying today. And everyone is watching the same two names, both in California. Billions of dollars, slick demos, magazine covers. But the company sitting on the biggest order book on earth isn't in Silicon Valley. It's a spin-off of the only plane maker outside the US, Europe, and China that actually builds and certifies real aircraft at scale. It's Brazilian, and its whole bet is that this race won't be won by the flashiest demo. It'll be won by whoever can actually build the thing. Let's start with what we're even talking about, because the word flying car does it no favors. The real name is eVTOL, Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing. Think of a large electric aircraft with a bunch of small rotors. It lifts straight up like a drone, then flies forward like a small plane. No runway, battery, not jet fuel. Quiet enough to fly over a city. The pitch is simple and kind of magic. A trip that takes you an hour stuck in traffic to the airport becomes a 10-minute hop over it. For decades, this was pure science fiction. And here's what changed. In 2026, it stopped being fiction. This year, the US regulator, the FAA, finally published the rulebook for certifying these aircraft. That's the starting gun. The category is officially real. And a handful of companies are now sprinting to be the first to fly you for money. Now, the two names you've probably heard. Joby and Archer, both American, both publicly traded, both very, very good at being seen. Joby just flew its first FAA-conforming aircraft and entered the final stage of certification. Archer already locked up most of the operating licenses and is flying in the Gulf. By the scoreboard, everyone's watching, the Americans are ahead. They've raised billions, they run beautiful public demos, and they both bet on the hardest, sexiest design, the tilt rotor. The whole engine tilts from pointing up to pointing forward. It looks incredible on video, and it is mechanically brutal. More moving parts, more to break, more to prove to a regulator. So, if you only watch the demos, the story is over. America wins the sky. But the demo was never the hard part. Here's the read you only get from inside aviation. Flying a prototype in a closed field is the easy 10%. The hard 90 is the two things that have killed 1,000 aircraft programs. 1. Certification. Convincing a regulator it's safe enough to put paying passengers inside, thousands of times a day. 2. Manufacturing. Building it at scale, with spare parts and mechanics in every city, at a cost that actually closes. None of that is a software problem, it's supply chains. Quality control to aerospace standard, decades of relationship with regulators. It is exactly what Silicon Valley does not have. And it is exactly what one country quietly built over 50 years. If you saw my episode on Embraer, you already know this muscle. Brazil is the third country on earth that builds passenger jets at scale, after the US and Europe. Not by luck, by a patient state project, an MIT-style school, a state plane maker, 50 years of certifying and delivering thousands of aircraft. That company is Embraer, and in 2020 it spun out a startup to chase the flying car. That startup is Eve. It went public in New York, ticker EVEX, and Embraer kept the majority of it. So look at how Eve is playing it, because it's the opposite of the California playbook. First, the design. Eve skipped the sexy tilt rotor. It picked lift plus cruise, rotors that just lift, and one propeller that just pushes you forward. Fewer moving parts, less to break. Far easier to certify. Boring on video, smart on a spreadsheet. Second, the model. Eve is deliberately asset light. It leans on Embraer's supply chain, Embraer's certification engineers, Embraer's global service network. It's not a startup learning how to build aircraft. It's a startup renting a 50-year-old aircraft company. Its factory is going up in Taubaté in São Paulo. built to make up to 480 aircraft a year. And here's the number that should stop you. Eve is sitting on a backlog of roughly 2,800 aircraft, the biggest order book in the entire industry. The company furthest from the spotlight has the most demand on paper. The bet underneath all of it is one sentence. In a race that's really about producing and certifying real aircraft, being behind on the demo matters less than owning the factory. But I promised you the inside read, and the inside read cuts both ways. So let me be honest about how Eve could lose this. Number one, it is genuinely behind on the clock. It only flew its first full-scale prototype at the very end of 2025. Its certification target slipped to 2028, while Joby is knocking on the door right now. In a winner-takes-the-route market, first to fly passengers matters a lot. Number two, that gorgeous backlog is mostly air. Almost all of those 2,800 aircraft are letters of intent, non-binding. A recent firm order was for 2 aircraft plus options. 2, not 2,000. Number 3, nobody has revenue, not Eve, not Joby, not Archer. The whole industry is burning cash against a market that doesn't exist yet. Eve has raised around $1.2 billion. Real money, but a fraction of the Americans. And even Eve's pusher motor comes from a US supplier, certified by a US regulator it doesn't control. So this is not a victory lap, it's a bet. The bet is that when the music stops, the company that can actually manufacture and certify wins. And the demo champions discover that aviation is hard. Here's where I land. The flying car is no longer the question. It's coming. The FAA wrote the rules, the aircraft are flying. The real question is who gets to build it at scale. And that's an industrial question, not a Silicon Valley one. America has the cash, the demos, and the lead on the clock. Brazil has the order book, the factory, and 50 years of knowing how to certify and ship an aircraft. One of those is easier to buy than the other. And it's wild that the dark horse in the most futuristic race on Earth is the same quiet planemaker from episode 12, just aiming at a different sky. I don't know who wins. Nobody does yet. But if it comes down to who can actually build the thing, I wouldn't bet against the people who already do. That's the view from inside the Brazilian trenches. If that's interesting to you, stick around.